Brusco's BBC Big Boy Conversations.
Filipino men are lucky. The women in our country choose their mates primarily based on personality match rather than looks or wealth. If you've got the psychology of attraction figured out, you can end up dating someone who's a level or two above you. Filipinas, in a lot of cases, are willing to ignore limitations on the looks and financial departments, as long as a man can keep her interested. That's not to say, of course, that Pinays don't have standards. Just like everyone else, there are physical turnoffs that can outright kill your chances of hooking up with a girl. Fortunately, these all stem from issues pertaining to hygiene and self-care, not unchangeable physical attributes. As long as you keep yourself clean and do a little extra, you should be presentable in the eyes of a lot of girls out there. So let's start with the most obvious, body odor. If you want girls and people in general to avoid you like the plague, body odor is the way to go. Even if a girl is super nice and doesn't mind being friendly to you, there's no way she can stick around for long if putting on deodorant isn't part of your daily routine. Body odor sends a primal signal to other people that you're unclean, making them instinctively want to avoid you. Even if in some twisted reality a girl was willing to ignore your strong scent, the social stigma that comes with dating a stinky person would be too much to overcome in the long run. It doesn't matter how good you look or how expensive your clothes are. If people start detecting the scent of a stale kebab as you approach, you'll have a very difficult time landing a date. Even if a girl wanted badly to hook up with you, she's probably already picturing the moment she introduces you to her parents and how their facial expressions would look.
Number 2. Bad breath. When trying to cozy up with a Pinay, conversing effectively is probably the biggest key. Talking allows you to indicate intent, showcase your wit, and keep her engaged. Words and creative lines, however, are just one part of the conversation process. You see, the physical elements of talk matter too. If the smell of your breath doesn't match how pleasant your words are, you might be killing your chances right there and then. Having fresh breath signals to a lady that you're hygienic and you have consideration for the people around you. Conversely, bad breath is a sign of poor hygiene, disregard for the people talking to you, or worse, serious illness. Number 3. Cavities. Most men don't have perfect teeth. A gap there, a chip here, some discoloration. These are all normal and are nothing to be ashamed of. Most women can tolerate, if not altogether ignore, imperfect teeth. However, there are some dental issues that turn the ladies off more than others. The biggest of them would be cavities on very obvious places, like the front teeth. Having decent teeth is a sign of good health, proper eating habits, and even financial stability. If you have bad teeth as an adult, it sends the message that you can't afford to go to the dentist, or you just don't care enough to do it. Either of those presumptions is a red flag, and you don't want the woman you're eyeing to start thinking that from the get-go. Number 4. Long, dirty fingernails. As a species, we've only known about microbes during the past 350 years. However, even early humans instinctively knew potential sources of germs when they saw them. We have a natural, primal aversion to filth because our ancestors correlated it with disease. If the carrier of filth, like for example germs, is a person, our tendency is to stay away from him or her. Keeping your fingernails long and allowing them to accumulate dirt to the point that they're dark green at the tips is an easy way to tell the world you don't give a damn about cleanliness. It begs the question of where your hands have been, and the thought of where they'll be next will strike guaranteed terror to a girl's heart. This may sound comical and elementary, but you'll be shocked at how many adult Filipino men have this problem and seem completely oblivious to it. Number 5. Unpressed clothes. An old adage tells us that clothes make the man. While we don't necessarily agree that clothes are everything, we do believe that clothing is very important to self-presentation. The choice of clothes and how it's worn can give women plenty of hints about a man's personality, habits, and even lifestyle. Unpressed clothes aren't just visually awkward. They also tell people that you're either disorganized or lazy. When choosing a guy to date, most women will consider not just their attraction towards you, but what other people will potentially say about you. If you come across as someone they'd be less than proud to present to their friends and family, you might get rejected even if she's a little interested in you. Number 6. Filthy, stinky shoes. A lot of men assume that since shoes aren't in other people's direct line of sight, they're not noticed as much as other things that we wear. That notion is surprisingly wrong, as studies have shown that shoes are actually the first things that people subconsciously notice. Wearing nice shoes have been observed to leave positive impressions, while wearing bad shoes seem to lower social approval. Filthy shoes tell people that you're untidy and you can't be bothered with basic sanitation even for the most personal of your belongings. It's even worse when your shoes carry odor from your feet. If you conjure up images of dead rodents when your scent reaches people's noses, your chances of hitting it off with a girl fall dramatically. Number 7. Dry skin. A lot of men don't realize it, but having better skin quality can have profound effects on how good they look. Radiant, healthy-looking skin isn't just nice to see. It also sends signals to the opposite sex that you're in good health and would make a good mate. Dry, flaky, and cracked skin, on the other hand, makes you look older and less healthy than you actually are, making you less attractive to look at. The solution? Moisturizer. This common, low-cost skincare product locks in water molecules and keeps your skin hydrated long after washing. Simply apply it to your face with an upward, massaging motion after cleansing in the morning and at night. This helps reduce fine lines, prevent crow's feet on the side of the eyes, cracking, flaking, and redness. The result is skin that's less dry, not oily, and overall younger and healthier to look at. Number 8. Huge muscles. Being buff is often associated with machismo, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's attractive to Filipino women. In fact, the majority of Pinays we asked said they would feel more comfortable dating someone who's either skinny or overweight over a man with a bodybuilder-type physique. That probably explains why you'll be hard-pressed to find a lady who'll tell you she watches Ginoong Pilipinas every year. If you're planning to hit the gym and consume inordinate amounts of protein shakes and amino acids in an effort to become more attractive to women, you're probably on the wrong path. Instead, focus on being at a healthy weight while toning your muscles without bulking up, and you should be just fine. Number 9. Metrosexuality. The term metrosexual usually refers to adult, city-dwelling men who are into fashion and are highly invested in how they look. In a sense, they're the opposite of the man who has all the previous issues mentioned in this list, but to a fault. While there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself, there's a fine line between self-care and male vanity. If the way you groom yourself or dress up makes the girl look like she's your secretary, she might find you a little intimidating. If your metrosexual tendencies make you seem self-absorbed or narcissistic, that's even worse. The last thing you'll want the girl to assume is that you'll be standing in front of mirrors much longer than she does. And last but not the least, at number 10, we have dandruff. Dandruff is the flaking of the skin on your scalp, often caused by fungal infestation. It's very common among men in tropical countries and doesn't pose any serious health risks. However, it can be very uncomfortable and embarrassing when noticed by other people. Even if it isn't contagious, people get a reflex perception that you have a health problem or that you have unhygienic habits. If you're one of the many men afflicted by chronic dandruff attacks, choose an anti-dandruff shampoo that deals effectively with the problem. Popular brands such as Clear, Head & Shoulders, or Guard are good options. With some people, dandruff seems to gain an immunity from a specific brand of shampoo over time, so don't be afraid to change things up once in a while. If all else fails, get something stronger such as Nizoral for better results. So there you have it, the 10 biggest physical turnoffs for Filipino women. Keep in mind that having one or two of these problems aren't necessarily deal breakers, but if you can eliminate each one, you drastically improve your chances of making a good impression. As long as you keep clean and dress nicely, you should be just fine. Stay tuned to Bruce Co's videos and Big Boy Conversations by hitting the subscribe button below, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay cool, bros.